But Carly, in his news conference on Friday, we didn't exactly hear the blaring of a trumpet, a call to arms and pressure on the Europeans. In fact, he started talking about, well, the effect on the global economy has been minimal. I mean, is that the right way to get the Europeans off the dime?
No, it is not. And in my view, Obama should be doing three things. First, he should immediately stop talking to President Putin. And John Kerry should stop talking to his counterpart. In diplomacy, silence is a meaningful message as well. And the only thing that Russia can do now is change its behavior. All of this talk, talk, talk. Second, unilateral sanctions that are as punishing as we can make them should be employed now as a signal of our resolve. And yes, he should ratchet up the pressure on Europeans.
Even if the Europeans aren't going to go along with us?
Absolutely. Now, I happen to believe that the U.S. should have imposed some unilateral sanctions when it might have made a difference way back when Russia went into the Crimea. However, now we must do something. He must do something, because all of this rhetoric, grave concern, the equivalence that he put in those remarks you played between Ukraine, the separatists, and Russia, they are not equivalent in terms of the damage they are causing. All of that signals a lack of resolve.
Senator Bai, is President Obama being reasonable, presidential, or is he being timid?
I think you've got to give him credit for coming out the day before this tragedy and calling for additional sanctions, attempting to be strong. The problem, Chris, is we're attempting to play an inherently weak hand. The Russians have strategic interests in Ukraine. They're always going to win a shooting war with the Ukrainians. The one weakness they have is their economy. We can only affect that some. We should do everything we possibly can to cripple their economy. But ultimately, we need the Europeans. They've been very feckless. This terrible tragedy, perhaps it will stiffen their spine to do things to weaken Russia's economy. That's really the only leverage we have.
All right, we got a little bit of time left. You know, I want to pick up on George's point, Carly, about narcissistic policy disorder. It is a messy world. Russia was always going to want some involvement and some control over Ukraine once you saw the civil split there. The Arab Spring, the turmoil in the Arab world is greater than ever. Is it really fair to blame President Obama for much of this?
Yes, it is fair, because American leadership matters in the world. American strength matters in the world, and it particularly matters where things are going wrong. I think President Obama has made two crucial errors. First, he confuses ending a war with securing the peace. And unfortunately, the way he ended the wars in Iraq and is attempting to end the war in Afghanistan are making both of those situations very, very troublesome. Secondly, he continues to believe that his words matter. And his words matter less and less because both our friends and our allies, as well as our enemies, have figured out that words do not signal intention. There is no execution behind them. And that creates a situation in which our allies believe they cannot count on us and our enemies believe they can ignore us.
Senator Bai,